Are you ready to go again? It's week number 2 of our Better Together Afghan with my friend Jeanne and I. We're gonna push you into week number 2. I've always wanted to use my favorite stitch in a stitch along. It is the Catherine wheel stitch. We are gonna do a whack of stitches today. Once you understand the concept, you'll see how the repeat works and you'll be able to fire it off really quite nicely. Again, the way that we've arranged our colors is that it will work out for your ball counts at the end. But of course, if you want to change something, you go ahead and do so with your color arrangement. Just be mindful that you will change your yarn quantities. So let's get together and better together. And this is week number 2, and let's head on into the studio now. Well, welcome to week number 2. In week number 2, I really love the Catherine wheel stitch. It's ultimately my most favorite thing ever in crochet, and what you see here is these things. So I learned this when I was 14, and actually in fact I was doing it wrong for like a gazillion years, and I figured out that I was doing it wrong because I was misreading the diagram instructions. So that's something that when you do something wrong and you keep doing it wrong, it ends up becoming right because you don't see that there's a problem and you're still happy with your results. So remember, if you ever stick your hook in the wrong hole, just keep sticking your hook in the wrong hole and you'll have great results. So you will notice that this is a big section just like you see, but you will notice that on the second page of this is that their diagram is not very big at all, because it's a matter of getting a repeat. So what we need to pay attention to the most is that when we go to start and do our first shells that we will be talking about, is that we just have to skip a number of stitches in a particular way in order to get those to work out. So you'll notice that when we're going to do this particular pattern. So the underside and the overside, which makes up these, is the same each and every time. So when you get here, it just looks like this. So it's just a matter of repeat, 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 repeat. And so we wanted to really kind of make that yarn really pop. So we just have a sequential distance like this. And then eventually when you get closer to the top, we end at the end of the Catherine wheel stitch, just do a single crochet, and then we get ready for week number 3. So this is week number 2. Let's begin. So let's move along to week number 2 here of the Better Together Afghan, designed by myself and Jeanne. So what we have here is that we're gonna do a Catherine wheel stitch section. It's a big beautiful section. It's really quite fabulous. Now the thing we need to watch for the most is the first pass around, and then once we get that done, there's a special tip that is done. So when you get to, like for example, you're gonna start off this side and go across, but when you come to the other side, you're going to notice that we have to skip something new, so in order to keep the balance. So that's something that's we're gonna concentrate on today. Once you get the first pass around, it's pretty much set up for the rest of these rounds. So what you're seeing, one round circle, is actually 2 rounds. So we have the bottom half and then the top half. So I wanted to cycle through some of the colors that we had in order to play with this particular concept, then have some balancing points that you see within this brown section here, and then continue out. So this whole section we're going to just move out. It's just a matter of repeating over and over and over the steps once you get yourself established. So I'm gonna show you the start. I'm gonna show you one half, that is the bottom, and then the top half, and then you can do the remaining of this on your own because it's all the same. It's just a matter of it's getting wider, so there's more indentations in, and you're gonna finish off just doing this half section here, and then that's where we're gonna leave you today. So without further ado, let's concentrate. Let's show you the diagram and let's see if you're up for this challenge today. So here's what the diagram looks like. We've finished off in the gray section here, and so we're now going to introduce this new sections that we're going to do. So you're gonna see that there's a lot of sprays in the sense of lots of double crochets here in the corner to turn the corners, and then we're just gonna get ourselves established. So we have to watch when we hit the other side here. So they're not all equal on each side. So for example, let me just clarify. So when you go to start off, you'll start off here, and then when you get to the other corner here, you have to skip something extra over here in order to keep the balance. Then you start off this side just like this side, and then when you get to this corner you just have to just watch it and watch that extra stitch that we need to throw in. So it was the only way to kind of keep the balance on this particular project, and I'm sorry I'm man-explaining at this moment, but I want you to be paying attention to that, because if you run into that unequal balance you're gonna say, what's going on? Well, that's what's going on. We have to fake it at one point. So once we get our first one established, then we're gonna begin the next row, which is the underside, and then we then come around and do the over row. So the under row then will then be right here again, and then continuing, and then the over row, and the only difference is that you're getting bigger and bigger than on the corner, so you have more spaces to fill in. I love this stitch. It's my most favorite stitch in the whole wide world. And let's begin the Catherine wheel stitch, round number 14. We're gonna begin with the color D. If you're curious, You can also see that in the instructions, and we're going to start right off in a chain 2 corner space, and we're going to attach like so. So attach, and then make sure everything's nice and tight, and chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. This counts as a double crochet, so I need you to put 11 more double crochets in. So now that you know that each corner is gonna have 12 because the chain 3 counts as one of them, and then another 11. So let's count those out together. So let's just count the chain 3 as 1, and then this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and lots in there, right? So now that you have your 12, let's just shift it a bit for myself. And so we need to skip a set amount of stitches in order to make this happen. So we are going to skip a total of 2 stitches. So this one here that is partially covered is a stitch. So don't miss that one. So 1, 2, and go to the 3rd and single crochet. Then you're going to skip 2 more stitches, 1, 2, and go to the 3rd, and you are going to apply a total of 7 double crochets. So 7 double crochets make up the top of a shell, and when you're going to do the bottom of the shell, how many do you think are gonna come together? 7, that's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So skipping 2, go to the 3rd, single crochet, skipping 2, 1, 2, go to the 3rd, and 7 more. So I want you to do this all the way across to the first corner, and then I'll show you what to do when you get that corner, because there's something special there, and then we'll carry on around, and this is round number 14. So as you hit the first corner, you're gonna do this with all the corners, is that you see that you run out of stitches. So if you skip 2 and then start that corner there, you're going to be in a problem. So what I figured out during the prototype is that you're only gonna skip 1 stitch after this shell, and you're gonna single crochet in the next, and then treat the corner like you normally would with just 12 double crochets. So let's count those out together. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So because we had to improvise there, you won't see it in the project unless you tell somebody. So then you're going to skip 2 then to start the new side. So that's the first one right there. So if you have to shift it to see it, so 1, 2, go to the 3rd, and then skipping 2, go to the 3rd, and then put 7. And you'll do this all the way around. I'm gonna leave the rest of this round number 14 for you to finish, and I'll see you at the end of this round. Now that I'm all the way back around, I'm skipping only 1 single crochet in the next, and technically if this was a brand new fresh corner, I would skip that one and just do my 12, but it's already there. So you want to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3, and you want to be done with this color. So this would be considered the top side of a project, like of one of those. So now we're gonna do the underside using going around with the same color twice, and then we're gonna be doing that next. So fasten this yarn off, and let's begin round number 15 next, which is a fun round. With my color C, I'm now going to start the underside of a circle, and then I'll use color C to do the overside to create the full circle. So what we need to do is we need to look at this, and we need to see the first post, and I need you to count to the 4th one. So count that first chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th is the one you're going to join to, and when you join, recommending that you do a standing single crochet. So just wrap the hook, pull through, but don't pull through the first loop yet, and pull through 2 now, and therefore you'll have the single crochet. If you don't want to do that, just pull through, chain 1 single crochet in there. This looks a little bit nicer. So we're now going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. This is how you'll do your corners, and you'll come in and you're gonna use the next 4 stitches on the outside of this. So wrap the hook, and going into the next stitch, pull through 2, and hold. So you're doing a 4 double crochet cluster. So then wrap the hook, the next one, pull through 2, and hold. Next one, and hold. and do one more time. It's the fourth one. So you'll have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, and now you need to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the very next stitch. So there is your first corner. So it'll look like it's pointing off like a regular corner, which it should. So let's show you how to do the underside of these circles. They're always the same. So you're just gonna chain 3 to begin, and this takes that stitch, so it's the center point of that circle. So the next 7 stitches in a row are going to be making up your circle. So with this one here plus the 7, you'll have 8 loops on your hook when you're done. So just yarning over and going in to the next one, pull through 2 and hold it, and keep doing that until you see 8 on your hook. Now myself, because this is my most favorite stitch and I learned this when I was a kid, the easiest way to do this is that I keep doing them trying to get my 7 until I physically can see 8 loops on the hook. So I just say, okay, there's 4. Is there 4? No. So I just literally use my finger, separate them, and it's a really quick way for me to count. So there's 4, there's 4. Pull through all 8 of those loops, and you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. It's the only way for you to get to the next one over here. So in the very next stitch you're going to single crochet, and now you've just completed the underside of a circle. So I'll show you 2 again. So just chain 3, so that takes you to create the center point in the next one, and then you're gonna collect the next 7. And how many loops are you looking for on the hook? Any answers? It's 8. The only time it's not gonna be 8 is when it's a corner, which I'll show you the next corner when we get there. So there's 4 and 4. Pull through all 8 of those and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the next, and keep moving on until you get to the corner. So you'll see everything is gonna be really quite fun and fabulous, and then you're gonna keep moving, and I'll see you at the first corner. Make sure that you know how to turn the corner, and then I'll leave this row for you. And this is how you're gonna continue to do these rows when you're filling them in underneath. The only difference is that you'll have more circles completed, therefore you'll have more indentations to fill in as it gets bigger. So I've now come up to the corner. I've finished this last indentation in, and I've chained 3 to get myself ready. So we need to turn this corner. So we're gonna single crochet in the next one available to you, and we need to create that corner slot. So how to do that is that you chain 3. Again, that changes the center point, and then you're going to collect the next 4. And you'll do this each time you hit a corner that looks like this. So you'll see 5 loops, pull through all 5, chain 3, and then single crochet in the next, and then begin all over again to go across, collect the next 7, keep going across. Make sure you put your single crochets in the tops of these as you did it before, and I'll see you at the end of this round. This is round number 15. So I'm gonna share with you a cheating technique that I do. Don't tell anybody though, I'm telling you though. So what happens is, say for example you didn't put 7 in one of these. I did, but what if you didn't? And then you get to this point and you realize, oh geez, I can't actually do 7 because it's gonna make the wheels kind of lean over. Because in the next round you're just focusing on the center point of these, you can easily just only do 6 if you really had to. If you had an extra one, you could do a total of 8 and kind of put it together, and it will be barely noticeable if you have to ever do that. So there's always a way to cheat the system when there's an opportunity to do so. And because one of the reasons why I chose this stitch is that it allows you to get back on track just in case you go off the rails. So you're only using the center points and these single crochets as your focal point for doing that. So if you have to add in a stitch or subtract out a stitch, you will probably barely even notice it, and then once you move on with the project you'll probably forget you ever did it. So it's a neat kind of idea. So if you see something like that, don't frog it. You don't need to. You can cheat it, and just don't tell anybody, or you can admit to cheating it and tell people to find the mistake. If you want to call it that at all, or just say it's improvisation or something. So it's a great way to be able to figure things out just in case you go off the rails. I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming up to the end of this, and I'm just finishing off the final indentation in. I'm going to leave this color on. I have actually done this kind of stitch using a solid color once. I just thought if you're gonna go all through the effort, you might as well change the colors and have a little bit of fun as you're doing it. So coming all the way back around, don't forget the chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then just join it to the first single crochet like that. So this is what it would look like then going all the way around. So you kind of have a point, if you really want to be imaginative, on the end here, and then you have your pieces. Now what we're about to do is the same thing that you just did down here. The difference is now you actually have a physical spot to aim for in order to have these circles match. So let's move on to round number 16, and then I'm gonna leave the remaining of these wheels with you to do that. So you can reverse the video back then to do the underside again to review if you have to, and then the top side, which I'm about to do now. So right where we're starting is in the single crochet, so chain 1 and single crochet in the same one. And then in the center point here where they all came together, you're going to apply 12 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Once you have your 12, you can just shift this around. So your single crochet is gonna be in the next single crochet, and then the center point of the next one is going to be where the next 7 go in. So remember the top sides, like we did down here, is 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then single crochet in the next single crochet, and then the next center point 7 again, and you're gonna do that all the way to the end. You can see the round circles are forming, and you're gonna go all the way around. I'll see you in the first corner just to make sure you're turning properly, and then we're gonna leave you off to the races and let you complete the rest of this section. But we have just a little bit to review after we get this whole section done, and I will meet you at the first corner in just a moment. When you get to the next corner, I've just single crocheted in the last single crochet, and in the center point of the corner is another 12 double crochets that circle it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And once your 12 are in, single crochet in the next single crochet, and then move along this side just doing the same thing. So this is what it would look like on the corner. Again, these kind of gaps kind of just eventually they kind of just fill in naturally, and you'll want to go all the way around. So I'll meet you at the end of this round, and I'll make sure that you're kicking off properly, and then we'll leave the rest of the section for you. So I'm coming all the way back around, and I have my 7 in, and then I'm just going to slip stitch then to the first single crochet and then fasten off. So I don't want to do any more. Where you're going to screw up, if you're gonna screw up at all in this particular concept, it will be in the corners. Sometimes people forget, including yours truly, to forget to put in that 12 here. Sometimes I just did 7 by accident when I was doing a prototype of this. So that's something that you just gotta watch out for. Just make sure your corners are 12 double crochets when you're going around. Something that you can't fake later, just in case you need to know that. So we're now going to just continue the remaining of this section, and I have to complete with you one more round after this section is complete, which I will show you in the end of this video. So we're going to now move on to color A. So remember how we started before. It's exactly how you started, just like you see. So it's gonna be the 4th one up. So 1, 2, 3, and 4th is where you're going to attach. Do your standing single crochet, it looks nicer, and then chain 3, and then pick up the next 4. Go right up over top of your straggler too to trap it into position.
just like that, and then pull through and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then coming to the next one and then start going around. So it's really not that hard to do. You just got to follow through. So let's go back to the photograph and show you what you're up to, and then I'll be back in just a moment. When looking at this photograph, we started off, we did the blue, and then this here is the green. It's the first circle. So you have one more circle, 2, 3, and 4 to do, and see the color sequence. So just follow that along, and then you're gonna do one underside, and then we're gonna do one round of the final of this. So this white, will be doing that in this particular series today. So just look at the photograph and match up the colors that you want. You can make it random if you wish, it's up to you, but it's been designed so that you can maximize the amount of yarn that has been prescribed for this. So I have a lot of homework to do now, and when I see you, I will be finishing up this underside, which will be the same color, and then I'll show you how to do the final one, and then you'll move on to week number 3 after this. So good luck, and I hope to see your creativity on Facebook, and I'll be back in just a moment. When I last left you, we were just down here, and so I've expanded all the way and I have all the colors matching. We're going to do our last round for this week, and it is round number 26 using the color A, and we're going to join up on top of the corner. So let me just create a slip knot to begin. You could also do well, I'm going to do a standing single crochet. So let's just go to the corner here and let's zoom in. So to start, you want to go right into the corner one, so where it's all of them have been put together. And I want to do a standing single crochet. So just put it onto the hook, pull through, and then pull through the 2, and that's a standing single crochet. And then chain 2 is in the corner, and then in the same one that you would like to do that, it's just a single crochet again. So it's a really easy round to be able to understand. So the next section right here, there's going to be 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. So you're going right up over top of that. You're going to skip to the next one here, and then 3 into that one too. So 1, 2, and 3, and then go to the next one. So you're skipping over the middles of these semicircles that you have. So once you get that done, go to the next one. You're going to do that all the way across. So I wanted a nice easy round for you. So when you get to the next corner, when you get there, so you're gonna single crochet 3 times into this one here as you're making your way, and on the point it'll be a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, and I want you to do this all the way around for round number 26, and that will conclude off this week's. So when you get back around, you're just putting your 3 single crochets in the last gapping space, and then you're just gonna slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and we're gonna end this color and end this week for the tutorial. So that's it for now, and we'll just go back and we'll see you next week as we continue our journey together.
Well, hopefully by this point you've got week number 2 done. We'll see you next time as we continue into week number 3, because it's going to be Jeannie's turn, because I just made her do the song and dance for the Catherine wheel stitch. She's going to make me do the song and dance for week number 3. We'll see you again, and please use our hashtags of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarn Inspirations on Instagram, and by all means please keep posting your ideas and your work in progress with our Facebook pages. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.